The pain started during Sunday dinner at my daughter Lauren's house, a crushing sensation in my chest, radiating down my left arm. I'd felt this before. 30 years of practicing cardiology had taught me exactly what a heart attack felt like. Lauren, I managed, my voice tight. I need to go to the hospital. Now. My daughter looked up from her phone, annoyed. Mom, we just sat down to eat. Can't it wait? No. I pressed my hand to my chest, feeling my heart rhythm become irregular. I'm having a heart attack. My son-in-law, Craig, actually laughed from across the table. Oh, here we go. The drama queen routine again. Craig, I'm serious. You're faking, he interrupted, cutting into his steak. Just like you faked that migraine to get out of my birthday party. Just like you faked being too tired to babysit last month. You just don't want to be here. I tried to stand, but the pain doubled me over. Lauren, please, call an ambulance. Mom, stop being dramatic. My daughter's voice was cold. You're embarrassing me in front of Craig's parents. Craig's father, Edward, nodded approvingly. Young people today need to learn respect. You can't just make up medical emergencies for attention. The pain was getting worse. My vision blurred at the edges. I fumbled for my phone in my purse, but my hands were shaking too badly. Look at her, Craig said to his parents. This is what I deal with. A mother-in-law who'll do anything for attention. Fake illnesses, manipulate situations, guilt-trip Lauren into catering to her every whim. I'm not faking, I gasped. I'm a cardiologist. I know what a heart attack feels like. Craig rolled his eyes. Right, a cardiologist. You're a receptionist at a medical office, Mom. Stop inflating your job title. Lauren touched his arm. She does work at a cardiology practice. Answering phones and filing paperwork, Craig finished. That doesn't make her a doctor. God, the delusions are getting worse. I finally got my phone out and managed to dial 911. My fingers were numb, and each breath felt like knives. 911, what's your emergency? Heart attack, I whispered. 1247 Oakwood Drive. Please hurry. Craig stood up, his face red with anger. Are you kidding me right now? You called 911? Do you have any idea how much an ambulance costs? How embarrassing this is. Sir, stay on the line, the dispatcher said through the speaker. Ma'am, can you tell me your symptoms? Crushing chest pain, left arm numbness, irregular heartbeat, shortness of breath. I recited the symptoms I'd taught medical students for 3 decades. Help is on the way. Do you have a history of heart disease? Family history. Father died at 62. I'm 67 now. Craig snatched the phone from my hand. Cancel the ambulance. She's faking. This is a prank call. Sir, I need you to return the phone to the patient. He hung up. Craig. Lauren looked shocked. What if she's really? She's not. Trust me, I know her game. She's jealous that we're happy, so she manufactures crises to get attention. He turned to me, his voice dripping with contempt. You want to go to the hospital? Drive yourself. I'm not wasting my Sunday on your theatrics. The room started spinning. I slid from my chair onto the floor, the pain in my chest now overwhelming. Craig's mother, Patricia, stepped over me to reach the dessert on the sideboard. Lauren dear, should we just continue dinner? The roast is getting cold. I think we should, Lauren said softly. Mom does this sometimes. She'll be fine in a few minutes. I lay on their dining room floor, struggling to breathe, watching my daughter and her husband continue eating while I potentially died 3 feet away. Then I heard sirens. Shit, Craig muttered. They're actually coming. This is going to cost a fortune. 2 paramedics rushed in, the Oakwood emergency response team I'd worked with countless times at Memorial Hospital. Dr. Morrison. The lead paramedic, Jake, dropped to his knees beside me. We got a cardiac emergency call. Didn't realize it was you. Craig's fork clattered against his plate. BP's dropping, Jake's partner Maria said, wrapping the cuff around my arm. Heart rate's erratic. Dr. Morrison, on a scale of 1 to 10. 8, I managed, maybe 9. Wake, Craig said slowly. Dr. Morrison? Jake was already radioing the hospital. We need a cardiac team ready. We're bringing in Dr. Helen Morrison, head of cardiology at Memorial. Suspected MI. Unstable rhythm. Head of cardiology? Lauren whispered. Maria had the EKG leads on me now. Definite ST elevation. This is a full-blown heart attack, Dr. Morrison. We need to move fast. I know, I said, my voice barely audible. STEMI protocol. Cath lab. Already called ahead. Dr. Patterson scrubbing in. Jake looked up at Craig with barely concealed disgust. Your family? I'm her son-in-law, Craig said weakly. You called 911 then? No, she did. And you are? Jake looked at Lauren. Her daughter. Maria's voice was ice. Her daughter who let her lie on the floor during a heart attack. They had me on the gurney now, moving fast. As they wheeled me toward the ambulance, I heard Jake speak quietly to Craig. Dr. Morrison is head of cardiology at Memorial Hospital. She's one of the top cardiologists in the state. She's performed over 3,000 cardiac procedures. She teaches at the medical school. She's published 73 papers on cardiovascular disease, and you thought she was faking a heart attack? The last thing I saw before they loaded me into the ambulance was Craig's face, completely drained of color. I woke up 18 hours later in the cardiac ICU. The surgery had gone well. 2 stents placed, no permanent damage if I was lucky. Dr. Patterson stood at the foot of my bed, reviewing my charts. Helen, you scared the hell out of everyone, he said. Another 20 minutes and we might have been having a very different conversation. I know. My voice was hoarse from the intubation. Your daughter's outside. She's been here all night, so has your son-in-law. He paused. Want me to send them away? Let them in. Lauren rushed in first, her eyes red and swollen from crying. Mom, oh my God, Mom. I'm okay, honey. You're not okay. You almost died. You almost died on my dining room floor and I just sat there. She was sobbing now. What kind of monster am I? Craig stood in the doorway, looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. Dr. Morrison, Come in, Craig. He approached the bed like he was walking to his own execution. I am so sorry. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know who you were. Would it have mattered? I asked quietly. If I were just a receptionist having a heart attack, would that have made it okay? He flinched. No, of course not. I just mean, you meant that you didn't realize I had status, power, importance. I looked at him steadily. But every human being having a medical emergency deserves help, Craig, regardless of their job title. Lauren sank into the chair beside my bed. Mom, why didn't you tell me? All these years I thought you were just, I don't know, a secretary or something. I tried to tell you, sweetheart. Multiple times. You were always too busy to listen. But head of cardiology? Teaching at the medical school? How did I not know? Because you stopped asking about my life around the time you met Craig. You stopped visiting the hospital. You stopped coming to my lectures. You created this version of me in your head, the lonely, dramatic widow desperate for attention, and you never questioned it. Craig cleared his throat. The hospital called. They want to know when you'll be back. They said the entire cardiology department is asking about you. They said you're supposed to keynote some national conference next month. The American College of Cardiology conference in Chicago, I confirmed. I'll probably have to cancel now. Dr. Morrison. Craig's voice shook. I need to tell you something. When the paramedics were loading you into the ambulance, I tried to refuse treatment on your behalf. I told them we weren't paying for it. Lauren gasped. Craig, no. Jake informed me that Dr. Morrison has full medical power of attorney over herself, that she's mentally competent, and that I had no legal authority. Then he told me that if you died because of the delay I caused, they'd report me to the police. He was crying now. I almost killed you because I was too arrogant to believe you. Yes, I said simply. You did. I don't know how to fix this. You can't, not immediately. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight, Craig. It's rebuilt through consistent action over time. Dr. Patterson spoke from the doorway. Helen, there's someone else here to see you. She's been waiting all night. A woman in her 60s entered, my administrative assistant Joyce. Behind her came Dr. Rachel Kim, my research partner. Then Dr. Michael Torres, my former resident who is now a surgeon, then nurses, technicians, staff from all over the hospital. We heard what happened, Joyce said, her voice fierce. We wanted to make sure you knew, you're not alone. The whole department's been rotating shifts, Dr. Kim added. Nobody wanted you to wake up without friendly faces. Lauren stared at the growing crowd filling the ICU room. All these people, they all work with you. Some of them, I said. Some I taught. Some I mentored. Some I helped through difficult cases or personal crises over the years. A young woman pushed through the crowd. Dr. Alicia Mendez, one of my current residents. Dr. Morrison, I just want to say, you saved my life 3 years ago when I was a medical student. I was going to drop out. You convinced me to stay. I'm graduating this year because of you. I just saw your potential, Alicia. You see everyone's potential. That's who you are. Craig watched this procession of people, dozens of medical professionals who all shared stories of how I'd helped them, taught them, mentored them, believed in them. Finally, he spoke. Dr. Morrison, I need to ask you something. The night of my birthday party, when you said you had a migraine and couldn't come, I was performing emergency surgery on a 16-year-old girl. She'd been in a car accident. I spent 11 hours in the operating room saving her life. His face crumpled. And when you couldn't bebease it last month? I was delivering the keynote address at the State Medical Conference on advances in minimally invasive cardiac surgery. There were 800 people in the audience. Lauren was crying again. Mom, all this time we thought you were just making excuses. We thought you didn't care about our lives. I cared very much, but I also had responsibilities to my patients, to my students, to the advancement of cardiac medicine. I paused. I tried to explain. You never listened. A hospital administrator entered the room. Dr. Morrison, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a situation. We have a complex case downstairs, a 62-year-old male with critical aortic stenosis. Dr. Patterson requested your consultation if you're able. I looked at my monitors, at my IV lines, at my daughter's shocked face. I can consult from here. Have them send up the scans. Helen, you just had a heart attack, Dr. Patterson protested. And I'm the best cardiologist in this hospital. That patient needs me. I smiled weakly. Besides, what else am I going to do? Lie here and watch TV. Within minutes, they'd set up a laptop at my bedside. I reviewed the scans, consulted with the surgical team, recommended a procedure approach. The whole time, Lauren and Craig watched silently. When I finished, Lauren spoke quietly. You're still working, from your hospital bed, hours after almost dying. Isn't that what you showed me? When I needed help, genuine, life-threatening help, you left me on the floor because it was inconvenient, because I was interrupting dinner. Craig made a sound like he'd been punched. But here's the thing, I continued. I'm not angry, I'm sad. Sad that my own daughter knows so little about my life that she thought I'd fake a heart attack. Sad that my son-in-law values his Sunday dinner more than my life. Sad that it took me nearly dying for you to see me. How do we fix this? Lauren asked. Please, Mom, tell us how to fix this. You start by believing people when they tell you they need help. You start by listening instead of assuming. You start by recognizing that everyone's life has depth and value, not just the people who fit your narrative. Joyce spoke up from across the room. Dr. Morrison volunteers at the free clinic every Saturday. She's been doing it for 20 years. She paid for my son's college tuition when I couldn't afford it, one of the nurses added. Anonymously. I only found out by accident. She funded the hospital's cardiac research wing, Dr. Kim said. $2 million of her own money. We named it after her late husband, but the money came from her. Craig looked like he might be sick. All this time, I called you selfish. I said you only cared about yourself. You believed what you wanted to believe, I said. It was easier than acknowledging that I had a full, meaningful life that didn't revolve around you. I'm so sorry, he whispered. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't change what happened, but actions might. What you do next, that's what matters. Dr. Patterson cleared his throat. Visiting hours are over and Dr. Morrison needs rest. Everyone out except immediate family. The crowd filed out, each person stopping to squeeze my hand, promise prayers, offer support. When only Lauren and Craig remained, the room felt very quiet. Mom, Lauren said finally, can I stay? Just sit here while you sleep? You don't have to. I want to. I need to. I need to be here for you the way you've always been there for everyone else. What about Craig's parents? They're probably waiting at your house. They can wait, Craig said firmly. Or they can leave. I don't care. You're more important. I must have looked surprised because he continued. My parents raised me to measure people by their status, their job titles, their bank accounts. You know what I realized tonight? They raised me to be exactly the kind of person who leaves someone on the floor during a heart attack. Craig. No, let me finish. I need to say this. I need to acknowledge what I did. What I am. He took a shaky breath. I'm the villain in this story. I'm the person who values a pot roast over a human life. Who cares more about being right than being kind? Who judges people based on what he thinks they are instead of listening to who they actually are? So change, I said simply. Be better. How? The same way I recovered from my husband's death. The same way I built my career. The same way anyone changes. I looked at both of them. One choice at a time. One action at a time. One moment of choosing kindness over ego. Compassion over judgment. Listening over assuming. Lauren took my hand. I want to know about your life, Mom. Really know. Not just the surface stuff. I want to hear about your research. Your surgeries. Your students. Everything I missed. We have time for that. Do we? Her voice broke. You almost died tonight. But I didn't. Modern medicine, remember? I have a few good years left in me yet. A nurse poked her head in. Dr. Morrison, your medications. And I really do need everyone out so you can rest. Can I come back tomorrow? Lauren asked. Visiting hours start at 8. I'll be here at 7:30, Lauren promised. Every day until you're discharged. After they left, I lay in the quiet ICU, listening to the monitors beep steadily. My chest ached. My arm was sore from the IV. But I was alive. Because I'd saved myself. I'd called 911 myself. I'd advocated for myself. I'd used my knowledge and authority to ensure I got the treatment I needed, despite my own family refusing to help. It was a sad realization, but also a powerful one. I'd spent 30 years teaching people to save lives. Tonight, I'd saved my own. And tomorrow, I'd start teaching my daughter something even more important. That every life has value. Every person deserves help. And status should never determine who we choose to save. My phone buzzed with a text from Lauren. I love you, Mom. I'm sorry it took almost losing you to remember how much. I typed back. I love you too, sweetheart. Tomorrow is a new day. Because it was. A new day to rebuild, to heal, to teach my daughter what really mattered. Not job titles or status or power, but showing up for people when they need you most. Even when it's inconvenient. Especially when it's inconvenient. That's when it matters most.